of intimidation from the state side. The state is trying to intimidate Kwabini by arresting his friends in court. But please listen to this audio and then we'll talk about it and then you'll have your say.
There are people who were in my company, my lord, and that were seated here. And then they've been now taken by the police, so I'm not sure as to what is happening.
No.
Just now, my lord.
Nah, but it's chicken.
They took them and went right around with them.
Now will they intervene? Are they arrested or are they taken? Which is which?
Asazi-ke ukuthi mhlambe bayaboshwa labantu noma-ke bayathathwa nje.
Yikho ngibuza ukuthi kathi kwenzakalani.
That's why I'm asking this court as to what is happening, my lord.
I don't know.
Inkosi yenkantolo ayazi yona.
Is it please the court, may I request an indulgence just to find out as to what is happening?
Yes.
Thank you.
As a court, please, my lord, based on the discussions in chambers, can this matter stand down until tomorrow?
Okay.
Is it please the court, my lord, I confirm the arrangement.
Yeah.
Is the court, please, confirm the arrangement?
I also confirm the arrangement.
Right. Apparently, it's an agreement between the court and councils that the matter should stand now until tomorrow. There's some problems which will be ironed out. Okay.
Khona isivumelwano esiphakathi kwenkantolo nababameli-ke nababashushisi ukuthi icala ashishiselwe kufikela kusasa.
Okay.
There are some developments, my lord, around the case which are not worth mentioning on the record. We would have actually also approached the court with a request that we adjourn. So we try and deal with those new developments with our clients and then we take it from there.
What developments are those?
As I'm saying, my lord, they are not worth mentioning on record.
But they are worth this court adjourning,
Most certainly, my lord.
and they are not worth it. But they are still worth it, so that the court must adjourn.
It's an indulgence that we're requesting.
Hello?
It is an indulgence that we are requesting because we need
Yeah, but
to.
I must know what's happening because I don't know what's happening.
As I'm saying, my lord, there is something.
What is something?
It's a new
Have
development.
they arrested somebody? The police.
My lord,
Have they arrested somebody?
I would prefer, my lord, not to say anything on record with regard to this new
No,
development.
you must say it on record. Because here am I, I'm sitting here. I don't know what's happening. And you want to adjourn.
In any event, my lord, it's already tea time.
Then,
It's time for a short
I can
adjournment.
sit through tea time. What's the problem? Mr. Numal, what's happening?
Unfortunately, my hands are tied, my lord.
What's happening?
As my colleague is indicating, my lord, that there are new developments
What
which
developments?
which we wouldn't want
Hello?
to place them on record for now. We have to take
This
instructions.
court can adjourn without knowing why I'm adjourning. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Here is a judge sitting, and then he's told there are developments. When the judge asks which developments, we would rather not mention them.
Because I want to take instructions from my client.
Yeah, you can take instructions. Fine.
It's going to take some time.
Mr. Ramsipid, what's happening?
As the court pleases, my lord, the furthest I can take it to is to say, once we have consulted our clients, then we can come to chambers and keep the court in the loop as to the
There's
developments. my lord.
somebody being arrested. Research, Mr. Zungu says colleagues or friends, they were removed by the police. Is that not so, Mr. Zungu?
Hey, Tada, we are back with another video. The page, it is South African Late News. Roughly about 3 weeks ago, we were told by the state that Kwabini's friends were detained because they are being suspected of trying to unalive the judge, the prosecutor, as well as Usibanda. Yet no arrest has been made almost 3 weeks later. So you can see that that commotion was just an interruption by the state. No one was trying to unalive Urata and Baloyin and his side dish Usibanda. It was just a trick by the state to interrupt the evidence of Ukwabini. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. If there was a serious threat into Baloyi's life or Ratasa's life, I'm sure the police would have arrested them right there and then right then. But still today, no arrest. So you can see that the state is playing games, or should I say mind games, to play and confuse the defense. Nothing much, nothing more. They were just trying to interrupt the evidence of Kwabini because they could see Kwabini, he's hitting home, he's hitting hard. So they said, let us find a way to just interrupt him for a day so that we can plan and see how we can question him. That was the whole thing about just a way of a state to delay and then figure out the best way of moving forward. That's it. If there was a threat in Judge Rata's life, arrests were going to be made right there and there. So we see what happened. Advocate Baloyi and Sibanda were not expecting Ukwabini to come and testify on behalf of the defense. So when he came, they were shocked. Remember that Mnisi on the previous day had said the next witness is a she, witness XX, a she part. So now they were expecting a woman. So I think they thought Musibi was going to bring his girlfriend Umbali or someone else who's a female. But Kwabini in the house. Then they were shocked at Jaibu, Kwabini poor. What's going on here? So I think Mnisi there had an ace up his sleeves. So in order to interrupt Kwabini, they had to create this story about the danger of Judge Rata's life. But there's nothing. Why did they do that? Because Advocate Baloyi knows very well that Ukwabini was going to come to court and contradict Absalom Zungu. Not Absalom Zungu, Constable Zungu. Remember that Constable Zungu said all 5 men before court were at his hostel on the day that Senzo was unalived. He meant that the killing of Senzo Meyiwa and the execution of that murder thereof, it was planned there at that hostel. So that is assertions by Constable Zungu. So now, when Kwabini comes in, all his plans are just interrupted because they never thought Kwabini would come and contradict Constable Zungu. That's it. So Baloyi was shocked when he saw Kwabini because but now the defense still has a chance to bring more witnesses that will shock the state because that's the only way to beat them. Just surprise them and hit them hard. That's it. Kwabini discredited the entire evidence of Constable Zungu in one day. The first question that was asked, Kwabini, were these men at your house on the day that Senzo was unalived? He said no. Constable Zungu is lying. That was the beginning of the end of the state case. So now, if now Zungu, the junior, is contradicted, that creates a reasonable doubt in the judge's mind if Rata was a fair judge. But that on its own creates a reasonable doubt. Even if Rata finds this guy guilty, the defense can still go and appeal at the Supreme Court of Appeal. And the judges there, they will see Utaibu. There's somebody that came to court and said Constable Zungu is lying. That creates reasonable doubt about this entire thing of a planned execution. So the state case depended solely on Constable Zungu because the confessions are disputed, even though Rata accepted them, but they are disputed. So the star witness for the state was indeed Constable Zungu. So once Kwabini came to court and said, "No, my lord, these guys were not in my hostel on the 26th of October 2014, but they were at my hostel in 2017, meaning they were there 3 years later." So Constable Zungu just moved the date just to accommodate the state theory of the intruder. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And then obviously we know for the fact that the evidence of Constable Zungu has already been debunked by his own father as well, Absalom Zungu. Absalom Zungu came to court and said, "My lord, my son told me for Uguti, he only testified in court because he was promised a promotion within the SAPS. Then Brigadier Gininda allegedly, he promised me money and a trip overseas as long as I implicate accused 1 and 2. That was the evidence of Absalom Zungu in a nutshell. He said a whole lot of things, but that was in a nutshell. So what does that do? It creates reasonable doubt in the evidence of Constable Zungu because now 2 people have said Constable Zungu is lying. And remember that Advocate Baloyi has failed to provide the AVL records which will support the story Sika Constable Zungu yokuthi wayese hostel. If was indeed at the hostel, then his section 204 his cell phone record would have proved that. How so? Cell phone record would have shown that at this time his cell phone pinged in Vosloorus or at the hostel. But because it did not say so, Advocate Baloyi decided to hide the AVL Constable Zungu. That's the only reason we do not have the AVL Constable Zungu. We know for a fact that all police vehicles are fitted with an AVL. How do we know that? Well, Khumalo at the Madlanga Commission, Lieutenant General Khumalo, told the Madlanga Commission that it is a police procedure that all police vehicles are fitted with an AVL. So Constable Zungu and Baloyi are lying when they're saying his police car was not fitted with an AVL. We know for a fact that he was driving a police car because he admitted during cross-examination that he went to the hostel with the police car. But where's the AVL? No AVL. Where is telephone records? Nowhere to be found. So the arrival of Kwabini and Absalom Zungu totally shattered the case of Advocate Baloyi. That is if we had a fair judge, but I still have faith because even if Rata says you are guilty, they will still go to the Supreme Court of Appeal and appeal that guilty verdict by Rata and set it aside. That's it. And then again, we know for the fact now that Warrant of Samakubo will also testify on behalf of the defense. That's the facts because he came during the trial, within the trial. But there, his evidence was very short because he was only limited to the admission of the confessions. So when he comes for the second time around, he will have to detail all the police contradictions that relate to the Mayor case. He will have to explain why did you and Joyce Buthelezi open docket 375? What was the reason for that? Because it is very strange that 2 sets of police officers have 2 sets of dockets. That is something that I heard for the first time in the Mayor case. So Umakubo will come and explain what yini eyenzisizathu ukuthi avule idocket isibili, that is docket 375. That docket talks about the fact that the people in the house lied about everything that they said. They lied that there was an intruder in that house. They lied that Senzo Miwa was shot by someone else. How do we know that? Well, the people in the house could not identify Abu Ntanzi, Abu Kadlamncube when they were in court. They could not say, this is the guy that came to the house. They said, no, my lord, we couldn't see the intruder. However, Thabang Makeleni, who was sitting outside, was able to identify Ntanzi and Kadlamncube, so they say. But we all know that the statement of Thabang Makeleni is also fabricated because it was dark. So it was impossible for Thabang Makeleni to see the facial features of Kadlamncube and Ntanzi. But the main thing is that the people in the house could not identify Abogadla and Ubandans, because we were told that those were the two intruders that came into the house, demanded money and cell phone. So the state case, you can see that it is clearly fabricated. That is why Makubu opened docket 205, because he said there was no intruders that came into the house. We also told that Longotwala was the first one to run out of the house. However, he ran out and the intruders just looked at him and did not follow him and did not shoot him. So we want us to believe that those intruders were in Gabi's. Come on, man. We are not that stupid. So that action by Longotwala shows that there was no intruders. But a statement by Mlungihlope tells us Uguti Tumelo Madlala phoned him after Senzo was shot and told him that Longotwala allegedly shot and killed Senzo Meyiwa by mistake. That happened when Senzo was trying to separate the fight between Zandi Khumalo and Longotwala. But because they lied about it, now they have to keep on lying. They were scared to confess initially. He had long confessed on that day, he would be out of prison by now, because we know that our justice system is very weak. If you are charged and convicted of culpable homicide, you will never spend more than 10 years in prison. So remember that Senzo passed away in 2014. Now we're in 2025. So that is 11 years later. I'm sure that Longotwala was going to be out maybe by 2017 or 18. We would have never spent 5 years, because our justice system is weak. But because he lied, we are all in this mess because of those people. I'm sure you heard Mama Senzo on the 11th anniversary of Senzo Meyiwa's passing. She said, all I want now is the truth. I do not care about Utu, meaning that she is willing to forgive the shooter of Senzo Meyiwa as long as they tell the truth on that day. But Abolongo, Kelu Khumalo, Nabo Judas Carioso, Tumela Madlala, the other Judas Cariote, Mtositwala, they decided to lie and say there was an intruder in the house, knowing very well there was no bloody intruder. But Legacy book. The case will resume on the 19th of January 2026, and Kwabini is still in the stand. However, Orata decided to recall Brigadier Gininda, Nomaholo, and Maphumulo, because the statement that was allegedly signed by Ukwabini is in dispute. So Ubaloyi has to prove it. So the only way to prove it, according to Rata, is to bring those people that took in the statement, as well as the person that arrested Kwabini. Remember that Kwabini alleged that they came into his house when he was sleeping at the hostel. He was sleeping naked. They walked in and barged in without knocking and arrested him. While they were arresting him, he saw Maphumulo putting the gun under his bed, meaning that Maphumulo was implicating Kwabini, which evidence, was planting evidence so that Kwabini can be compromised. They're hoping that once Kwabini is charged for that gun, they'll manipulate him and say, Kwabini, we not charge you for this illegal firearm as long as you testify against accused 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as just as Uzungu did, Uzungu Jr. But Kwabini refused to cooperate. Instead, he went to Baloyi's office 2 times, but Baloyi did not listen to him. Instead, Baloyi and his side dish, Usbanda, they tried to feed him with the information that they fed Constable Zungu. They were telling him what Africa athini enkantolo, but Kwabini refused to come and implicate these innocent men, because he knew that by innocent, because they were not at his hostel on the day that Senzo Meyiwa was shot. So Kwabini still understand. So Baloyi will have to prove that statement. So Bonango Brigadier Gininda again, no Mohale, no Maphumulo, testifying on the 19th. I'm hoping that the evidence of Brigadier Gininda and Abu Phumulo will be short, because we know very well that Tajrata will accept the evidence and accept that fake statement that was allegedly done by Kwabini. So we already know the script, because it's the same script, just the different actors. So Rata will accept ukuthi uGwabini signed that statement and it would be part of the court record. Just yes, because we are dealing here with the bad judge, with the biased judge. Thereafter, once he has accepted that statement, Ubalo will have to conclude his cross-examination of Gwabini. And thereafter, we're waiting for more surprises from Advocate Mnisi. I hope that Makubo will be the next witness, because he is the key in disputing the evidence of Brigadier Gininda. Remember, Warrant Officer Makubo was a police officer, so he knows every trick that Gininda has been doing in this case. So Gininda will be exposed as a liar, because remember, at some point, Warrant Officer Makubo opened a case of defeating ends of justice against Gininda. Why? Because Makubo said Gininda had allegedly stolen that statement from the docket. And remember, that statement had disappeared for about 4 years. However, it was only given to the defense, I think, sometime last year, after Sifiso Meyiwa made a noise about it on NCA and SAPC. So Makubo opened a case against Gininda for the disappearance of that statement. However, that case did not go far, because Gininda is well protected by the NPA and so on. They'll never charge him because he is their star baby or star witness. So Warrant Officer Makubo will expose Brigadier Gininda and also expose those people that were in the house with how they lied about the shooting of Senzo Meyiwa. I cannot wait for Makubo, because Makubo, I think his evidence will be key, since he's a police officer. So maybe Dr. Rata will believe him, since he is part of the police. Unlike the accused, Rata just disregard them because I think they are in prison. He doesn't think much of them. Hopefully, Makubo is going to add weight into this case. After Makubo, I'm praying that Joyce Buthelezi will also follow him, because Buthelezi is the police officer that helped Makubo to investigate Docket 275. So Joyce Buthelezi will also help the defense. Remember that Joyce Buthelezi was also demoted after she opened the docket 275 for Makubo. Why? Because that went against the state narrative of the intruder. So the police hierarchy were very angry with Joyce Buthelezi. Then they decided to demote her. The similar thing happened to Makubo. Makubo was not demoted, however, he was harassed severely for several times. Up to the point where Makubo was fed up, and then he decided to quit the police force. Makubo now is a private citizen, so he will testify under no duress, because he doesn't care about the job. He's free as a bird. So the case will resume on the 19th of January 26. I cannot wait for that day. Thank you for watching.